Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. After raking in about $175 million this year, your boy Tyler Perry has made the Forbes list of the top 10 earning entertainers in the world. This is the second year that Tyler Perry has made the list, and he's the only African American and the only billionaire to make the list. Hey yo, shout out to Tyler Perry for really doing his thing, because this man has gone a very long way in a very short amount of time. I mean, it seems like just yesterday he was selling those VHS tapes of those Madea plays, and now he's a billionaire who hooked up Prince Harry and Meghan with a crib. Amazing. Now check it out. The other day your boy Busta Rhymes was walking through the airport when an overzealous female fan crept up behind him, reached out and grabbed his tush. In response to the woman copping an unwanted feel, Busta Rhymes turned around and he threw his drink on her. I mean, honestly, I think this chick is lucky that she just got a little water sprinkled on her, because just because somebody's a celebrity doesn't mean that you have carte blanche to grab their backside. I mean, I can understand reaching your hand out and trying to get a handshake, and they might give it to you and they might not. But you can't touch the tush. And I know there's somebody out there who's gonna be like, yo, he a celebrity, that's what he signed up for. And you know what I say to that? When Busta Rhymes first started rapping with leaders of the new school, Charlie Brown and that other guy, he didn't sign up for nobody grabbing his bubble butt. And as a matter of fact, Busta Rhymes didn't even have the bubble butt back then, because he was skinny Busta Rhymes. And Bolo Busta didn't show up on the scene until like Bolo Chappelle showed up on the scene. Hey yo, who got Bolo first? Was it Dave or was it Busta? I mean, one minute these two dudes are looking like Chris Rock, and then the next thing you know, they turn up on the scene looking like The Rock. Absolutely nuts. And speaking of nuts, Post Malone is currently on tour with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the tour made a stop in Perth, Australia. And while Post Malone was there, he tried to go to a restaurant, but he was denied entry due to his face tattoos. When speaking about the incident, Post Malone said, quote, "They turned me away for my tattoos. I never really experienced anything like that," end quote. Well, after finding out that the patron that they turned away was Post Malone, the restaurant issued an apology and said, quote, "At QT, we aim to welcome everyone and celebrate the uniqueness of each individual. QT has been recognized for this for many years. However, on Saturday night, one third-party security did not exercise the appropriate discretion, and we take full responsibility for this. We sincerely apologize to the individuals affected," end quote. Okay, I'm confused, because the restaurant just so happens to have a sign outside the establishment that says no face, neck, or offensive tattoos, right? So my question is, are you apologizing because you turned Post Malone away? Or are you apologizing because you've been turning people who have tattoos on their face away? Because those are two different things. Like, my question is, if Mike Tyson shows up to the restaurant tomorrow, does Mike Tyson get in? Or is the real rule, celebrities with face tattoos that can give us good press can get into this restaurant, however, regular Joe Schmoes with face tattoos, you're not getting in here? Listen, let me know what you think. When it comes to like dress codes at restaurants, should restaurant owners be able to say if you have tattoos on your face, you can't eat here? And if they do deny you access into the restaurant, is that a form of discrimination? Let me know what you think in the comments. And while you're down there leaving a comment, make sure to smash that like button, because I'm telling you, the YouTube algorithm be playing with my channel. Now check it out. The other day, JFK the rapper went around and he asked a whole bunch of other rappers, is hip-hop a young man's game, or is it alright for old dudes to be out here still trying to rap like Nas and Styles P? In response to JFK's question, Dave East said, quote, "I feel like you get yourself old. I think hip-hop is something you can stay young in. It's not like basketball," end quote. Now after JFK went and spoke to Dave East, he went and spoke to Paul Wall and asked him the same question. And Paul Wall was like, older artists shouldn't expect younger fans to gravitate to their music. Instead, they need to try to age gracefully with their fan base. Paul Wall said, quote, "When we came up young, it was young people feeling us, but they aged with us. So if we old still looking for old people to follow us, I think we're on the wrong path," End quote. Look, I hear what Paul Wall is saying, but I think I'm gonna have to agree with your man Dave East on this one, because rapping is not like football or basketball, and it doesn't have to be a young man's sport. It's not like if your body physically gives out you can't drop bars. I mean, it's not like Redman and Method Man are somewhere like, I can't drop these bars because I got this gout, I got this arthritis, I can't do it. As a matter of fact, I think that both Jay-Z and Nas have proven that if they want to do it, these dudes can still drop bars with the best of them, and there's an audience for it. However, I do believe that if you're a rapper and you reach a certain age, your priorities begin to change. You don't want to be out here rapping about the same stuff you were rapping about when you were a tween, when you turned 40, so it's a different game. The same guy that was out there talking about how many hoes he smashed now has hoes for daughters, and they're out there smashing, so he has a whole different perspective. Listen, let me know if you think that hip-hop is a young man's game and these old rappers need to retire their jerseys, or if Dave East is right and hip-hop isn't like basketball and these guys can rap on for like ever. And just to put age in perspective, just remember that your girl Nicki Minaj is like 40 and she's still out in these streets making hits. And you know what else kills me though? It's like these young kids act like these old dudes out here making mad old content. Like when they're rapping, they're like, I put Epsom salts in the tub, scrub it, put my Ben Gay on, rub it, take my dentures out my mouth, gum it, take some Pepto-Bismol for my stomach. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, a 40-year-old can make a rap song just as good as a 30-year-old. Now check it out. If you remember, your boy Chris Breezy tried to play Robert Glasper after Robert Glasper beat him for the Grammy. And now, Robert Glasper has proven that no weapon has formed against him shall prosper, because he turned around and he made some shirts that say who the F is Robert Glasper, and he sold them online for $25 a pop. Now, after the t-shirts sold out, Robert Glasper went online and he wrote, quote, "Thanks for the support. A portion of the proceeds from this shirt will be donated to the Country Music Center of New Orleans, a nonprofit created to share the music culture and music education in New Orleans, providing free music lessons to underserved youth. I can't thank y'all enough for supporting the cause." End quote. See, that's what I'm talking about, because that's how you turn lemons into lemonade. My man Robert Glasper could have been salty and he could have been out here going back and forth with Chris Breezy in the streets, but instead he found a way to give back to the kids. I love it. Shout out to Robert Glasper and all of the kids down there in New Orleans who are focused on their music. And while we're talking about people giving back to the kids, we gotta talk about your boy, Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan recently donated $10 million to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And after the Make-A-Wish Foundation received that mega check, they went online and they wrote, quote, "Basketball legend Michael Jordan knows the power of a wish. In honor of his 60th birthday on February 17th, he's making a record-setting donation of $10 million to Make-A-Wish America. The gift, the largest from an individual in our 43-year history, is Jordan's latest show of commitment to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which he has actively supported since his first wish in 1989. Jordan is donating to Make-A-Wish in order to inspire others to help us expand access to life-changing wishes for more local communities throughout the U.S. End quote. Well, after the news about Michael Jordan writing that mega check broke, one person came online and they were like, quote, "That's why he's the GOAT." End quote. Then another person came behind them and they were like, quote, "Inspirational, but LeBron is still better." End quote. I mean, really? I mean, can't Mike just be Mike for a minute and do his thing and do his good works without being compared to LeBron? I mean, come on, people. Let MJ live for a minute. Listen, how would you feel if like everything that you did was compared to somebody else? Like you're walking down the street and somebody's like, "Wow, your hair looks good, but it doesn't look as good as Barbara's." Or they're like, "Wow, that's a really nice coat, but you know, Teddy got a better coat." Or your kids are really cute, but Barack's kids look better. Listen, sometimes we should just let people shine when they're shining. That means we don't always have to try to dim somebody's light by comparing them to somebody else. Jeez. With that being said, shout out to Michael Jordan for making that amazing donation, and we want to wish him a happy early 60th birthday. Now check it out. The other day we reported to you that Idris Elba said he will no longer be referring to himself as a black actor. Idris said that he is a thespian and he will not allow anyone to put labels onto his thespianism. Well, after Idris made his original comments, social media went wild and everybody had something to say. So then, Idris came back and he dropped another comment. Idris said, quote, "There isn't a soul on earth that can question whether I consider myself a black man or not. Being an actor is a profession like being an architect. They are not defined by race. However, if you define your work by race, that's your prerogative." End quote. Well, after Idris dropped that little nugget, your man John Boyega came up in the comments too, and he had something to say to Idris. John Boyega said, quote, "I think we should fixate on who is typecasting and putting actors in boxes because of this, not on making weird adjustments for them. We continuously focus on what we have to do, so they do this, so they do that. Very worrying. We're black, and that is that." End quote. Oh boy, I think John Boyega just moved up another notch in my book because he said what needed to be said. But here's the thing though, whether Idris believes he's a black actor or not, he's a black actor. When he walks into the casting call, he's not getting the role of like George Washington. It's not gonna happen. And you know what? They might say that it's because of his acting, but I can guarantee you it's not. It's because he's black. And to tell you the truth, I really wouldn't want to see a black George Washington or like a black Thomas Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? I don't really need to see the black version of Thomas Jefferson like with the black slaves. And that goes the other way too. I don't need to see like Matthew McConaughey playing like Muhammad Ali. It just doesn't work for me. Now, to be fair, there are some roles that like a black person can play it or a white person can play it, because it's like a fictional role or race is not a main feature of the character. However, race is an essential component when casting characters sometimes. I mean, for real, don't ever let me be in my house and I turn on the TV and it's like a new version of Roots, and then Toby shows up on the screen and it's like Tobey Maguire playing a part. That's a no-no. Not only might I get up off the couch and throw my TV out the window, but I might never watch another movie again. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.